Welcome back, everyone, to a socially distant episode of your one-stop shop to a greener financial future. Money Suckle is back, albeit in a non-live action form. Rusty Cage here, the hero Olympic champion, taking the week off to shed a spotlight on mental health across America.
Well, that's right. Here's the thing. I may or may not have had a potential COVID scare. I don't know if I have it. I don't know if I don't. But one thing I know for sure, I am sick. I am sick. I am sick. I am sick of seeing all these people not taking our hot stock tips and making a ton of money. But I'm hoping that we will change all that in this episode. But of course, as always, this is not financial advice. If you thought it was, you are a fool. Let's see what some of these hot stocks are in this episode of Money Suckle.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We not only talk about stocks on this channel, we talk about crypto. And crypto this week, man, I hope you punched your ticket to the moon back in July, because as soon as it clicked over to August, crypto has been on the trajectory straight to outer space. Ladies and gentlemen, Bitcoin over $43,000. It was meddling around at 30K just 2 weeks ago. The bears, oh, the poor bears. They were trying to come up with all sorts of excuses of how Bitcoin is going to 19,000. Bitcoin was supposed to be at 19,000 right now, and well, you can see, frankly, how that turned out for them. Ethereum, oh, all these bears saying Ethereum's supposed to be at 1,200. Well, fellas, Ethereum has been making out and kissing and flirting with the $3,000 mark once again.
Now, can I just tell you a little bit about what my trading strategy for Bitcoin was? Can you pull up the Bitcoin chart just so we can see where we've been in the past few weeks?
All right, so the 24-day chart is down. It's simply correcting a little bit, trying to...
Let's go to the 14-day chart.
All right, so the 14-day chart is right here.
Okay, so here's what I was feeling. If you look right around July 31st, that's where I thought the peak of this mountain was. And so I had the great idea, I'm going to sell off all my Bitcoin, all my Ethereum, because, before that, it had already been trending upwards, and you know how volatile Bitcoin is. So here's pretty much what happened. I sold right at the top. Best thing I possibly could. Unfortunately, I had to pay a few $1,000s in gas fees for the Ethereum and the Bitcoin. And then it kind of did dip back down a little bit. But then, of course, it skyrocketed right back up again. And that's what's called an emotional play. I was not holding. I was trying to swing trade this a little bit. Sell high, buy back low, and then get those gains. And while that might have been a mistake in the end, in my mind, if you're not emotional about a stock, if you're not trading based on emotion solely, then you don't really care about that stock. You don't really care about that coin, that cryptocurrency. So, even if I did lose a little bit of cash and I bought back in and I lost a little bit of gains, I'm still right back on top. And there were a lot of naysayers. Of course, there's always naysayers who are putting this fear, uncertainty, and doubt in your head, saying that Bitcoin it's going to crash to a penny. You just wait and see. Well, look at them laugh now. That's all I have to say.
And ladies and gentlemen, this is why we've taken the week of not producing content for you guys, despite opening up our Patreon, where our hungry Patreon investors are expecting the content. But no, in our greatest moment, we've decided to instead shift the focus to mental health. Because, Rusty, you had to be pretty mentally ill to sell Bitcoin when you did, when obviously the bull run has only just begun. Of course,
that's true. It drove me crazy. I'm sorry to interrupt. It definitely did drive me crazy. But here's the thing: you can't stop the bull run. I got a little greedy. What can I say? I tried to sell high. I bought back in low. I know in the past I said that was good advice, and I still stick by that.
And everyone, the disease that we're trying to fight here and raise awareness against is, of course, the oh so horrendous affliction that affects numerous traders and has contributed to many people losing their bags right before going to the moon. And we are, of course, talking about the disease of paper hands. Paper hands
Oh,
affects all of us. I'm sure all of us have known someone with the horrible setback of having their fingers and little paw prints turning into flimsy, just nothing material. Oh, no.
you,
My,
you
my
know,
coin went down 2%. I have to sell. God, those poor
yeah, this
bastards.
is it really is upsetting to whenever you see people, paper handing it as they call it, like if they're that means that they're willing to change their strategy based on the foreseeable future and kind of adapt to what the market is looking like. That is the biggest fool's investing move ever. No, be convicted, be emotional. In fact, don't even look at any of these stocks or coins or anything as a financial investment. Look at it as something that you're proud of, something that you're invested in personally. That way, you will hold on to it forever. And if it goes down, it doesn't matter if it gets right snug close to zero. You know that because you're a part of it, because this is your team, you're gonna keep holding no matter what. And let all those paper hand people, they can just go screw off and take profits or whatever the hell it is that they do.
And ladies and gentlemen, suckers of the channel, if you so happen to find yourself afflicted with the terrible condition known as paper hands, there is one cure. There is one bona fide solution to your ailment. Now, the prescribed medication we're going to have to give you is called the dip. And the way you're supposed to cure yourself is that you take the dip and you slurp that thing up.
You just slurp it right up.
Fellas, Bitcoin was at 60,000 in May 2021. And then we had a bit of a stumble. Tom Brady tweets out laser eyes. Market completely collapses. But you know what they say, you can never count out touchdown Tom. We made a video about that already. No need to even expand on that here. Fellas, the great Chinese philosopher Lao Tzu once said that the valley is the safest place to be. And you know why? That's because the valley, in many ways, is the same as an economic dip in a security or cryptocurrency. And right now,
Well, I mean that's the thing. That's the thing about a valley is again, I always have to emphasize this. Every time you see the charts trending downwards in that negative logarithmic looking trend, you know that because it's a valley, it means that it's gonna go back up. So invest any point in there, and you know there's no chance that it won't go right back up with another hillside on the other side of a valley. Because if it doesn't have two hills, it's not a valley. It's just downhill.
and you see this point right here, the big downhill ride, the big roller coaster ride into what you may very well think is oblivion. That is actually the greatest financial opportunity you're going to have in months. Because look at what happened to the price of Bitcoin. It went all the way down. Almost, it actually passed the 30,000 threshold into the 29,000s. But you got to stop and think to yourself at this point, am I going to get paper hands? No. You're going to slurp the dip, cure your paper hands, and fellas, that Bitcoin that was on sale at 29,000 is now riding pretty at around 44, 43,000, and the bull run, fellas, is only just beginning. Who knows where this is going to top out? 100K? 169K? A lot of places it could top out, but if you were able to slurp the dip and cure your paper handedness, you would be sitting pretty right now, I can tell you that much.
And now I know there's going to be a lot of these swing traders. I like to swing trade. Oh, I like to sell when it's at the all-time high of 60 and take those profits and then buy back in when it's 29,000. Yeah, cool. I get it. You probably made a lot of money now that it's all the way back up another $14,000, and you must be feeling pretty good about yourself. But that's not conviction. That's I don't know what they even call that, but that's not an emotional play, and that's not what you need to do when investing in something as volatile as Bitcoin.
Well, that's what we call here on the channel being a gay bear. Now, of
A
course,
gay
what kind of a
bear.
suckling channel would we be if we did not fully support the bull cause? It's all about the bulls, baby. And if you're a bear, look, sometimes you bears have been having a hard month, but I'm not gonna dogpile on you, all right? All you guys who took out short positions expecting Bitcoin to go down to 19,000, you're probably in pretty bad shape right now, especially if you took that out on margin. You're probably on the brink of suicide. Let's be honest
Yeah,
here.
and here's the thing. Like, as we're talking, it was a very bearish momentum downward. But once you get to your lowest point, and you feel like you've lost it all, that is the best time to find a bull to kind of come in and take over and prep these stocks. I guess you'll kind of be prepping for the bull run upward, which will bring you and the bulls all the way back up into the promised land and to the moon eventually.
That's right, Bears. I hate to say it, but you bet against the highest returning stock of the past decade, the highest returning asset of any kind in the entire stock market, and you thought that it would go down. And yeah, sure, you can be right about it temporarily, but you know what they say about stocks? They always come roaring back. Stocks only go up, coins only go up. If you're a bear at this point, you might as well just sell all your stuff and go back to playing tiddlywinks or whatever you do with your time that's considered oh so not risky, like Bitcoin. Ooh.
Yeah, well, I mean, listen, all these bears they're gonna go back into hibernation. They're gonna eat a lot of pine cones to kind of keep their anus sphincters closed, so all their food doesn't come out while they're hibernating in the cave. However, all of us smarter investors, we are going to be what we have been doing, which is prepping the bull. Just keep that in mind. As long as you prep the bull, you will always be good in the end. Now, Emp, where do we expect that Bitcoin and Ethereum, those two trade side by side, where do we think that they're going to go up to?
Well, Rusty, being a pretty bullish man myself, I am definitely not ruling out six digit dollar amount for Bitcoin. I believe we will pass the 100,000, the magic one quintuple bagel. I am
Now,
going to
do you think it's
predict
going
that
to
we will
drop
pass that
back
by the end of
down?
the year.
You think by the end of the year that we'll pass $100,000 on Bitcoin?
The way things are looking, in my expert non financial advice, you gotta hope and pray it's there. And if you're a bear, well, I got news for you. It's not gonna be getting any better anytime soon.
Now, it's actually interesting. I was watching a lot of these other non-financial advice investing channels, and one thing I noticed is that a lot of them kind of seem to retrospectively change their opinions on what they claim they said about cryptocurrencies or stocks, after they see the evidence come out. And something that I'm not going to say is his name, but it sounds something like Schmeat Schmevin. He's a big financial investor on this channel. And a few days ago, I was watching a live stream. He says he's not really interested in investing in cryptocurrencies right now, because it's probably going to continue to drop. The second we started seeing this bull get prepped, guess who was right there? He was right there saying, "See, I told you so. I told you this was the way to go." But that's what happens when you listen to these fickle, non-emotional investing players on the YouTube market. They're gonna allegedly lie to you. They're gonna try to retrospectively trick you into thinking that they were right the whole time. But you got to pay attention to these things. And if Bitcoin's going up, listen, if we're at 44 now, I guarantee, now this is not financial advice, but I guarantee that there is no chance that Bitcoin will drop below its support of, I'm just going to guess 35,000, which would be probably a better time to buy than right now if you're looking for major gains. It's just not going to happen. So what I'm going to do, selling off all my other shares in preparation for this big market crash that's coming up, throwing it all into Bitcoin and Ethereum, and I'll see you at the end of the year whenever I'm sitting in my $1 million Bugatti in my mansion that is on the moon.
That's right, everyone. If you're going to be bearish about anything, be bearish about these fair weather channels who only get hyped up about crypto when it's going up. We here at Money Suckle, we see through all the bogusness. We see through all the gay bears and the paper hands at the bottom of the valley. That is when we were the most bullish. You can go back. You can look at our Touchdown Tom video. We were bullish about crypto then. We're bullish about it now. Get rid of all these fair weather so-called crypto supporters. Get them out of your sub box. Make 7 alt accounts, sub to Money Suckle, donate to the Patreon managed portfolio, which, by the way, any patrons can now submit their picks on the patron discussion board tab right there. And yeah, subscribe to Money Suckle if you want actual advice that's non-financial advice, but however is still consistent with being bullish towards the market, because stocks only go up, coins only go up. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning into another episode, and we will catch you on the next one.
Prep the bull.